What is going on YouTube? It is boy Nite here, back with a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing the NFL playoff predictions for 2019. These are my predictions. I'm going to tell you guys round by round who I think is going to move on, who I think all that is going to happen. And the reason I'm doing this so late is I was debating whether or not I wanted to do one of these. I just got home from a long vacation, or not a long vacation, but a week and a half long vacation with family. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to make one, so I didn't have time to set up a cool template. But I did put down the bases, and I'm going to go round by round and tell you guys who I think and what is going to happen in the 2019 NFL playoffs. So in the NFC, you get the number 1 team, the Saints, the number 3 team, the Bears, the number 6 team, Eagles, number 2, Rams, number 4, Cowboys, number 5, Seahawks. On the AFC, you got the number 1 Chiefs, the number 3 Texans, number 6 Colts, number 2 Patriots, number 4 Ravens, and number 5 Chargers. That is what each side looks like, and let's go through it. So first, round 1, Bears versus Eagles. This game's at Chicago, and strictly for that reason, I am going to pick the Bears over the Eagles, especially that Nick Foles is starting. I felt if Carson Wentz was starting, they would have a better chance because Foles is very, off or on. He's either hit or miss, basically. And I feel like he's going to struggle in the cold, in the freezing cold in Chicago, because I was just there and it was freezing. And it is a night game, so I do, kind of afternoon night game. I do think for that reason, the Bears defense, one of the best defenses I've seen in a while. I mean, as a Vikings fan, personally, I got to see them play twice. So seeing them play the way they did really made me change my mind on who I thought was going to win that game. If they didn't have a great defense, honestly, I'd probably pick the Eagles. But strictly because the Bears have a great defense and the Eagles are with Nick Foles, that is why I am picking the Bears over the Eagles. And then we got the Cowboys Seahawks. This one to me is a no-brainer. I have the Seahawks beating the Cowboys. Mainly because I feel the Cowboys had a really easy schedule this year. They didn't really play anyone good, in my view, and when they did play a team like, some good teams, I felt they struggled a little bit more, and so they'll have to play a good Seahawks team. Even though it's not in Seattle, it's in Dallas. That NFC East also is a really bad division this year. You had the Eagles who barely made it because the Vikings lost. You had the Redskins who were on their 4th string quarterback. And then you get the Giants who are always awful. And so that's kind of why I feel the Cowboys made it to the playoffs. I don't really think it was too much that they were good. I just feel that they kind of got lucky in a sense. And if they actually played, let's say, in the NFC North and the Vikings played in the NFC East, that'd probably be the same thing. I bet you the Cowboys, struggled a lot more because they played a lot more good teams. Like the Vikings and Bears had really hard schedules. The Cowboys, really easy schedule. Seahawks, their defense is amazing. I love the Seahawks. They love running the ball. I love running the ball. They pound the rock. They have good linemen. They can catch the ball. They do the little things which add up to being the big things. And so for that reason, I have the Seahawks beating the Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs. And that means that we have the Saints, Bears, Rams, Seahawks in the divisional round for the NFC. Now let's go over to the wild card round in the AFC. We got Texans and Colts. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is actually supposed to be Seahawks. Oh my god, I can't even type. Sorry, I forgot I just have it like this because this is how it's set up. But the higher seed always plays the 2 seed. So that's why I got that mixed up. But that is what the divisional round will look like for the NFC. Or at least I think. Now we go to the AFC wildcard. Texans and Colts first round. Now this one's going to be a tough game. I feel that this one is going to be probably decided in the final 2 minutes. I do have the Texans beating the Colts 34-30 in that first round. Just strictly because Texans are at home. I feel the atmosphere is going to be there. I don't remember the last time the Texans were in the playoffs. If I had a guess, it'd probably be, 5 years ago. And so I'm probably going to say the Texans 34-30. Yeah, the Colts, have kind of had a great bounce back. They're hot as of late. They've been playing some great football. Other than like some other teams, when did they start? 1-5, I'm pretty sure. And so starting 1-5 and figuring out a way to make it to the playoffs, I think is a huge accomplishment, and should probably earn a spot in the playoffs. And I think that it's going to be a good game, like I said. just knowing how the Colts have been playing. But I feel Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's having a good year. Hopkins is having a great year. I just feel that with all of that, the Texans will, find a way to win late. It's not going to be a game-winning field goal, but they'll probably get a game-winning touchdown. It's going to be a great game, but I do have the Texans over the Colts. Next one, we got the Ravens and the Chargers. This is a very interesting matchup here. Now, for two things. One, I feel the Ravens, I don't know, kind of like the Cowboys with Lamar Jackson. They've had a pretty easy schedule other than the Chiefs. And then they actually lost to the Chiefs, I'm pretty sure. They've had a pretty easy schedule. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson's bad. I think if I would probably drafted him in the draft. I like Lamar Jackson. But I just feel they kind of had an easy schedule. They're going to play a Chargers team who, if they were in any other division, I think they probably would have won their division. But just because they were the Chiefs, I do feel that they obviously couldn't win the division. But if they put in a different division, they probably would have won it, at least one of the divisions. So they kind of got screwed. They have to go on the road. And defense for Baltimore is pretty good, but I feel the Chargers are just a better, well-rounded team than the Ravens. I feel it's going to be a decent matchup. It's not going to be insane. I do have the Chargers beating the Ravens by a score of 38-17. The first half is going to be a great half. I say 17-17, tight wire. But then the Chargers are going to turn it on late in the second half and end up winning 38-17. Kind of a blowout, but just because they're going to have a good first half, that is kind of why it's not. That's why I said it's going to be a decent game. It's not going to be a great game. But I do have the Chargers beating the Ravens in the first round of the playoffs. Which means the divisional round will be the the Patriots against the Texans, and the Chiefs against the Chargers. This is what it should look like in the next round of the playoffs, and it will, in my opinion. But we'll go to the NFC divisional round first, just because we started with the NFC. We should go to the NFC. We got these, as I'm getting a text message. Seriously? We got the Saints and Seahawks. This one's at New Orleans. The Saints have been hot as of late, and I think they're going to continue to stay hot. They play a good schedule this year. They beat the Rams at home. They beat the Vikings on the road. They played really well. They're 13-3, and they could have been 14-2, but Teddy Bridgewater started in the last game. And so I'm going to have the Saints beating the Seahawks by a score of, I'm going to say, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to say 38-20. Seahawks probably, maybe you could put up a better fight, but I just feel that the Saints are just going to be too much for them, and it's going to make the Seahawks struggle. And so the Saints will beat the Seahawks 38-20. Their offense is just clicking on all cylinders. It has been all year. I think it will continue as far as I'm concerned. Rams and Bears. This one's going to be a blowout, and I mean a blowout. It's in LA. Bears are going to have an awful game. They're going to lose 45-10. This might be a little too much of a score to have, but I feel the Bears they're not going to be able to handle the prime time on the road. Now it's hot in LA and all that, but the Rams want revenge. They lost to the Bears on Sunday Night Football, which could have possibly given them the 1 seed in the NFC. And so they're going to want revenge. They're going to take it out on the Bears in the second round. The defense isn't going to do great. Khalil Mack, he's not going to have a great day. Trubisky, I don't think he's had a great year at all. He's just kind of gotten lucky. So I'm going to go with the Rams 45-10, and that will lead the Saints and Rams in the NFC Championship game. Now we'll go to the AFC divisional round. The AFC divisional round, the first game will be Chiefs versus the Chargers, and I have the Chargers beating the Chiefs in the divisional round by a score. It's going to be 34-31. Chargers are probably going to get like a last-second field goal, something like that. I feel the Chiefs, they're having a great year. If they had Kareem Hunt, I'd honestly probably pick the Chiefs in this one. But I feel that the Chiefs didn't they lose in the first round of the playoffs last year? They don't handle the prime time well, and so I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Chiefs strictly for that reason. I just feel, Mahomes is he's having an MVP season. I think he should be the MVP, but they're probably going to give it to Breeze. But I'm going to go with even though the Chiefs, Mahomes, Kelsey, some good players there. They don't have a solid running back in my opinion, and the Chargers have a good two running backs, Gordon and Eckler, who can both run and catch. So I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Chiefs. The next round, or the next game, we got the Patriots and Texans. Patriots have kind of gotten the lucky season again. Every year, I feel like they find a way to get a 1 seed, a 2 seed. They find a way to get in the playoffs, and they find a way to do it well. Now, normally, I would probably pick the Patriots, but with this game specifically, I feel the Texans are going to come in and just have a great game. Same with the Patriots. It's going to be a battle to the end. I have a feeling the Texans are going to beat the Patriots 37-31 and move on to face the Chargers in the AFC Championship game. Tom Brady, this might be the end of the road for him. Him and Gronk, I did not know if they're going to come back after the Super Bowl loss to the Eagles. I did not know if they were going to come in and continue, but it looks like they did. I don't know. Maybe this is the end of the road after losing in the divisional round. I'm not sure. I kind of hope it is because I don't like either of them, but it's always sad to see some of the greatest players go. I do feel the Texans, however, have a better, well-rounded team than the Patriots and are still kind of hot, and so I'm going to go with the Texans over the Patriots. That leads us to the NFC Championship game between the Saints and the Rams, and this one is going to be pretty good. I'm going to say the Saints in this one, honestly. I feel this is the Saints here, and I think it's going to be a 45 to 35 game. Rams are going to put up a good fight. Saints are going to pull away at the end. They're going to have a pick six, about 5 minutes left in the game, and then they're just going to keep to get a 42-35 lead. Then they're going to kick a field goal, 45-35. This is the Saints' year right here. I feel they're hot. The Rams are a good team, but they've been struggling towards the end of the year as of late. They've not had things clicking in a way. So it's definitely sad to see a team like the Rams potentially lose. But I do feel the Saints are well-rounded, and we'll move on to the Super Bowl. And then we got the Chargers and Texans, the 5th seed and the 3 seed. This one, again, I'm not too sure. I think it's going to be a good game. I actually feel it's going to be a more defensive game. I'm going to go 28-24 Chargers. I do feel that the defense will kind of put up a little more fight. I'm not too sure how good their defenses are, but I just feel they're going to put up a better fight. And I do have the Chargers beating the Texans in the AFC Championship game, which might sound crazy to some people. I know that I shouldn't even have the Texans or Chargers probably in the AFC Championship game, but, crazy things can happen. I could be completely wrong too, Like I said, offenses are going to struggle. It's going to be a good first half, but then the second half, it's going to be kind of slow, and the Chargers are going to get a touchdown late in the game. And it's going to be a thriller, but I do have the Chargers going on. And that leaves the Saints and Chargers in the Super Bowl. And I have the Saints winning the Super Bowl. This is their year. They've played great all year, and they deserve to win this, in my opinion. And I think they're going to win 45-31 over the Chargers. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, make sure you like this video, comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys. I'm sorry this is not a good layout. I could have done way better, but I didn't have the time because the playoffs are tomorrow. 2 days. I could have. I'm sorry. Hope you guys enjoy, as always, and take care.